All right, we are doing a intro on the fly here because I have not made up a new one yet for the new season of the Lowco Hoops Report. But welcome, Lowco Hoops fans. Welcome to a new season of basketball in the Lowcountry. And we tipped it off in style this weekend, Wes, with USCB opening their inaugural season with a couple of thrilling wins. The women taking it 70-47. 22 points from Michaela Primo, Shania Rose and Shania Hayward both had big games. I mean, just literally everybody got in the scorebook who was healthy. And then the men just blew the lid off the place, as you said tonight, to Coach Ron Fudala during USCB All Access with a dominant 130-88 win. You heard that right, 130. We'll see if it gets a little chippy up at Morris on Wednesday when they go back up there after hanging 130 on them. But hopefully they understood the spirit of the thing and the moment and all that stuff. And honestly, like, I mean, Morris was fighting. Like they were scrapping back in it for a while in the second half. So it was exciting though. And we'll talk in just a minute with Red Bruin, who was alongside me on the call on the Sand Shark Game Day Network on Saturday, and will be several more times this season. And we'll dive into high school basketball, of course, as well. But you got to sit with the coaches tonight from USCB, Coach Versup and Coach Fudala, and host USCB All Access. And then we also got to talk to some of the players Sunday night on Sand Shark Rewind. So it's been really cool to really immerse ourselves in USCB basketball after this first game, and I look forward to this season.
Yeah, it's going to be a really fun year. First one in the program's history, and it was just so much fun to talk to both Ron Fidal's, Sharon Versup, two terrific minds, two terrific coaches, and we saw that on display over on campus for the first time. And as I mentioned a couple of times now, it was absolutely electric. The students section brought it, the fans, the support from all over the Lowco, from Sun City, tremendous. And man, they got to see some quality basketball. Certainly, they're going to see a lot of tougher opponents. Morris and NAIA school, definitely things are going to step up in terms of quality of opponents. But one way to kick things off, just a tremendous, groundbreaking afternoon that we'll remember for a long time. As you mentioned, 130, the boys team, as I mentioned, blowing the roof off because they absolutely did. And it was the depth was showcased on both these teams. And there's a lot to like about these squads. I'm sure there'll be growing pains along the way, which I'm sure is to be expected in the inaugural year of a program. But I think you have got to have some good feelings about the direction, short term and long term, from where this basketball program will be headed.
Yeah, I mean, I have some concerns for the women, in the short
Injuries.
term because of the injuries. They're down to 8 healthy bodies, and that's just not enough to really, be competitive once you get into the Peach Belt. So I think they're certainly going to take some lumps, but I think they'll be better for it on the other end. I mean, when you look at a year or two down the road, I think you're going to look at some of these kids and go, wow, they've really developed into terrific players. And you'll point back to when they were freshmen and they had to be thrown into the fire and just learn by doing. Some of them won't be able to, and that'll be okay too. But the ones who can survive it, they're going to come out, really with some metal, and it's going to be special. So because Versup knows what she's doing, she's going to coach them up. She's going to get them through it. She'll find ways to make the game competitive even when they're overmatched, and things like that. So they're going to come through it just fine. But yeah, we'll talk a lot of high school basketball here in a little bit. But while we're on the subject of USCB, and while we have him in the green room, let's get Tony Red Bruin in here.
Hey,
You know
fellas.
him, you love him. If you don't know him, then you need to get to know him because you'll love him. Syracuse legend. Before that, New York City, street ball legend. Basically, just known in the courts around the city. And your name is kind of like you're still. People like say your name in like hushed tones when they're, Red Bruin, like Red Bruin from Syracuse. Like, yeah. So, but it was awesome having you on the call with me on Saturday. Neither one of us had ever actually called a basketball game before. You've played in a whole bunch of them, coached a bunch of them. I've watched a ton of them, but it was fun to get to do it together. And I'm interested to hear, now that you've had a few days to reflect, what you thought about the USCB teams.
Well, first, let me thank you for that great introduction. appreciate that. And actually, let me also thank you for experiencing that inaugural game on campus Saturday. It was amazing. I mean, just the whole vibe of the place was electric. You could almost feel like it was something that everybody felt like they knew they were part of history. You know, you can really see how everything is in place for that program to really take off from there. And it was an exciting brand of basketball, probably the best brand of basketball in the area so far, except for high school basketball. For any major
Yeah.
college ball around here, you got to travel with 2 to 4 hours in each way to either South Carolina, or Georgia for Georgia Tech or something like that. But I think this is great for the area, and it's exactly what we need. It was a great event for like families to be there,
Yeah.
basketball critics, basketball lovers. I mean, it was just fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. Wes, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't able to watch you on the call, but the highlights, you guys are terrific, and it was great to hear your enthusiasm, Justin, and your knowledge, Tony, about the game, and you know, it might have to be a good experience for you. You see an inaugural game of the first ever season for this program as a basketball, as a mind who's been around the basketball scene for a while. I'm sure you're able to take a lot out of it, and I just want to hear your review of both these teams and what you expect from them as they kind of grow in that first year.
Is that for me or just really?
I think for you.
Yeah,
Okay.
please do your
I just wanted to make sure. Well, since we started out with the girls team first, the level of basketball for a Division II program is obviously your opponents are going to be a little more skilled and a lot more bigger, and it's going to eventually come with more physicality. But
Right.
the coach is great. I would say for a first year program that's looking to grow and starting out, to have a coach with the coaching abilities like Coach Versat. I mean, that's a great first step right there.
Yeah.
Everything that the women's team did was very well organized. You could see that the work that they've put in, everything from their out of bounds plays to the tempo that they played, to the changing defenses, to the offensive sets. I mean, everything was, was right on the money. It was professionally done.
Yeah.
I think at one point in the game, they had grabbed a rebound and outletted it to the corner, and everybody filled their lane, like the 1 spot, the 2 spot, the 3 spot, the rim runner following up behind. It was a numbered break. So I'm really looking forward to some exciting things from the women's team. They're well coached, and they stick to their game plan. They stick to the game set. And when Just told me that they have some people that's injured, I just see the future is really bright for them when they get all their players back and really get going. The only thing that I see in the future is they're going to probably have to get some bigger players, obviously, because when the level of when the level of talent, and you start getting into some Division II teams and Division II programs that's been around for a while. There's not that much of a difference. I was telling Justice, not that much of a difference between Division I and Division II. So you almost have to recruit, like you're recruiting like Division I players, because that's the type of size you're going to need. And things happen. Some players don't predict the grade level that they expect to get, or they may go to a prep school first and realize that a Division II program might be better suited for them than Division I. And but all of that will come, because this program here has nothing but room to grow, and you can just see that the potential is there. The people support the program. People are excited about the program. It's the perfect area at the perfect time, and I'm just excited to be part of it.
I know you love the men's team style of play, because you're old school. You like to get out and run. You like to play above the rim. You like to throw it down.
Yes.
So you had to just be, on cloud 9 watching them play.
I got to tell you, I didn't expect to see this right off the top like this. When I got there, and the sort of style of play that they have, and Price jumping out the gym, and the big guy out of street. It was amazing. It was really fun to watch the style of play that they have. You cannot be a basketball fan and go to one of their games, the way they play, and they keep playing like that, and just not be excited that you have that brand of basketball in your backyard now. I mean, it was really amazing to see.
Yeah, that's what makes it a lot of fun to have it in your backyard, because it's something that I haven't been able to do. I mean, this is a groundbreaking new program, and it was a vision of I mean, you had a big part in this, JJ, as a former.
Yeah, it was a lot of people's vision, man, for a long time, and a lot of people pushing the boulder uphill for a long minute to
And to get someone
finally
like
get it
Sharon
over.
Versa, to get someone like Versa,
I mean,
that's a huge accomplishment, and a big win to take that step forward, because I've been talking to her, and she certainly proves why she has been staying in Division I coaching basketball for a while, because certainly she knows the game very well and the ins and outs, and just does a good job of translating it to. I mean, you said it looked like a Sharon Versa coach team from the jump. So just
like Grogan said last night, we had our assistant Brady Grogan on last night. He was talking about, like, when we see something that we don't know how to defend, she's like, "Oh yeah, we saw Michigan run this and the Big Ten tournament in 1996 or so, 2006 or something." She's like, "We got a defense for that." It's like that woman has coached so many basketball games against so many like phenomenal coaches that she's seen it all. Like, she's just unfazed by it. She's sick as a dog right now, but she powered through and did her coach's show tonight, because that's what you do when you're the big time coach. But let me pause right there for a minute, guys, and let's welcome in another guest while we got Red in here, because we've got another college basketball coach with us, the other men's college basketball coach in the Lowco, with Matt Lynch from USC Salkehatchie. Matt, what's going on, man? We've been trying to connect for a long time and get you in here, and I got busy, then you got busy, then I got busy, and here we are. It's basketball season, so it's time to connect, and I appreciate you jumping on with us tonight. But so you are in a really unique position that has kind of become a kind of nationwide, fascination for a lot of people that are kind of watching what's happening down here, because the program at Salk was going along pretty good, and then they dropped it, and there was no program. Was it just 1 year they were down?
Yeah, just one.
And then you were hired to bring in and revive the program, and you've hit the ground running. You made some splashes with your recruiting class, particularly some big international gets. So I guess kind of give people an idea about what's going on up in you guys play in Walterboro or Allendale, right?
Walterboro. Yep.
Baseball is in Allendale. That's right. So what's going on up in Walterboro, man?
Man, well, first off, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me up here. It's great to be here. No, we had a 1 year sabbatical, but the program is back in action. We're going in full force. We had a great start to the year. We started off 3-0, and then went down to Florida and dropped a really close one to Palm Beach, and then kind of we were in over our head a little bit against Daytona State. They're currently ranked, I think, 13th or 12th in the country as far as D1 JUCO goes. So a couple great tests for us there. We're a team of 14 freshmen and a freshman head coach. We're figuring it out every single day. Had a good practice today, had a good practice yesterday, and we're hitting the road and heading down to East Georgia State College tomorrow for a 7 p.m. tip. I'm loving it. Walterboro's community is great. Our administration at Salkehatchie, first and foremost with Dean Cohn, she does an unbelievable job. She's been at the university, I want to say 15 plus years. She's got a great vision for athletics, and I'm just excited to be in here on the ground floor to kind of try and get the program back to where, Jake Williams and Coach Corey had it, and multiple other guys. It's been a powerhouse in Region 10, and I'm just trying to do my part to restore that prominence.
Absolutely, and there's certainly a lot of kind of undiscovered talent in this area, which is kind of what that's our whole purpose is to shine a light on this area that kind of gets overlooked, and a lot of kids maybe fall through the cracks because of not being academic qualifiers or socioeconomic, not able to afford college. So junior college becomes an option for them, and certainly you guys are trying to be more than just the junior college that the local kids want to go to. You certainly want to have your hands in that, but you're also trying to go out and get some big gets. And tell us about some of the guys you were able to recruit that that people would have been surprised to learn that they're in Walterboro this season.
Yeah. I'd say we'll start right in the state. We signed guys from really good programs, as far as Jay Chisholm right out of Somerville High School. They're a really, really strong program every single year.
Oh, yes.
Shout out my boy, Coach David Long. Makai Rivers, who was coming from Oceanside, and Makai has done an unbelievable job. I mean, he's been as big of a – I expected Makai to impact winning, but not this fast. He's a smaller guard, but he can play at a speed that nobody else can catch up to. And so, we have an offense called Makai Touch the Paint, and it's that simple. I mean, he takes the ball out of bounds, and I let him get downhill and make a read, and we go from there. Two other good South Carolina guys, and Grayson Kirk from Lancaster, another big-time program, and then Justin Baxter, who played at Bamberg. And so those are my 4 South Carolina guys. Outside of that, I got one other guy from the U.S., and that makes me very unique. And he's from Virginia Beach, Virginia. Jaden Cancella. It's actually his birthday today. Happy birthday, Jaden! And comes from Catholic High School. Doing a great job for us. He's a monster on the glass, so that's been awesome. And then actually after those guys, the rest of the team is international. And I didn't set out to initially recruit the entire planet. It just kind of happened that way. And, the big thing there was, because of that 1 year sabbatical, I think that a lot of the South Carolina kids I was going after were kind of window shopping us a little bit. Like, hey, the program, you took that break. Are you guys really back? Are you kind of back? Are you halfway in, halfway out? And so I knew I was going to have to prove myself. And I figured, a lot of the times in recruiting, I'm not going to beat out a lot of these Florida JUCOs. I'm not going to beat out a lot of these D2s that can offer full scholarships. But what I can do is I can do my homework and do my research and watch as much film as I can possibly get my hands on, and maybe roll the dice on an international kid or two that somebody else wasn't willing to take the time with. And so, I've ended up signing 5 kids out of Australia, 2 out of the UK, 1 out of Germany, and 1 out of Costa Rica. And man, I got a life lesson in visas and F1 visas and what you need to get into the country. And I am my own international department. But it's worked out great. And the thing is they're just so appreciative, all of those guys, and as are the South Carolina guys, the US guys, of the opportunity, that we just have great team chemistry. I mean, our culture is something that you have to go fight for every single day. But I didn't expect it to come into such a secure form so quickly. And that's just a credit to the human beings that I have on my roster. I tell them all the time, I don't have one stereotypical junior college kid. Like, I don't have one kid with baggage. I don't have one kid with, he got in trouble at XYZ school. I have really great human beings. Now, they're all freshmen. They're not perfect. They're going to still make freshman mistakes, young people mistakes. Just the other night, we invent ways to lose sometimes, and so, but I want to build a program and not a team. And so, we've got some great size, man. We've got 6'11", 6'10", 6'9", 6'8", 6'7", 6'6". I mean, I'm going to have 6'5". I don't look like a JUCO team, Now, our physicality, our overall toughness, that stuff needs to improve. But even the guys on the team will say to me sometimes, "How the heck did you recruit all these guys here? Like, what is it like?" Because we've got great size, and I'm trying to figure out ways to make us different and make us tough to prepare for. And man, we're off and running. We're having a great time, 3-2, trying to get to 4-2 by this time tomorrow night. So give me a call.
Awesome stuff, Coach. Tell me more about yourself and what you've enjoyed the most about this role that you've had, and helping build a program like this. And I think most importantly, enhance the life of these student athletes and giving them this opportunity to shine and build their both their resumes on the court and in life in general.
Yeah. As far as, finally getting to be a head coach, this will be my first head coaching experience. And that's what I was most excited about with this opportunity. And second, when I interviewed with our athletic director, Jeremy Joy, he's also our baseball coach, and interviewed with Dean Cohn and the board, one of my favorite things was the fact that we didn't have a single player signed. And so it really was a blank canvas that I got to come in and be Picasso. And so I was really, really excited from that standpoint. And I'm getting to build it in my own way. I too, I'm making mistakes. I'm learning from my mistakes. But, I've got somewhat of a personal relationship with guys out there like Tobin Anderson, who's obviously had an unbelievable upset with FDU last year. And he spent so many years at the D2 level, at lower levels, cutting his teeth, preparing himself, getting it ready so that when he was on the big stage to go take down Purdue, he had that opportunity, he had that experience in his back pocket. So this has just been unbelievable for me. I'm your head athletic trainer. I'm your SID. I'm your strength coach. I'm your maintenance man. I get to do it all. There's so many things. And it can get overwhelming at times, but you got to keep the positives, at the forefront of your mind. You got to keep the main thing, and the main thing is the guys. I'm their, it's a lot, I'm their basketball coach, but I'm also their life coach. And I preach to every single recruit that I've had that you're going to come here, you're going to be a better man, a better student, and a better basketball player in that order when you leave. And I got to hold them accountable. And not every guy likes being held accountable. And so then you get into a little bit of that confrontation. But, being a head coach is not a popularity contest. They're not going to like me every single day. Otherwise I'm not doing my job. But we're off to
They'll
a great
be gone
start.
in 2 years. You hope to still be there long after they're gone.
Right, for sure. I want them moving on to bigger and better things. The first part is to get them to Salt. The second part is to get them out of here. So
That's right. I mean, it's the nature of the beast. And JUCO is shine them up and turn them around. You also made some headlines because, if I understand correctly, you're the first openly gay men's basketball coach in college basketball, which is obviously noteworthy beyond our platform. I'm just curious to hear what the response to that has been, and then obviously you're in the deep South, and there was probably a little bit of uneasiness just about coming to a place and being out like that. But what has been the response and the just the I guess response? I don't know what other word I'm trying to think of.
Right. Yeah. Man, people are people, and this is that's really been it. I'm just Matt Lynch. This is what you see is what you get. Right. And I've been thankful that it really hasn't come up. It really doesn't deserve to come up. I tell people all the time, who I put my head down next to at night is nobody else's business but mine.
Amen.
But I'm happy to be the first. I just don't want to be the last. And Amen. So things are going great. I got great guys. Even part of the international thing has helped me is so many of these guys in different countries grew up where pride events are really big events. Those are things that they grew up with, almost probably looking forward to. And, they just see me as coach. They just see me as Lynch. They just see me as Matt. And that's really all I ever wanted to be. And so, it gets a little attention here and there. But it's not really anything on the focus of it's such an average part of my life, which for 29 years, it was the biggest kept secret. And so that's such a great thing to just be able to tell you guys, is that it's just another average part of my life. So happy to be here, man.
Brother. I'm really glad to hear that that's the answer to that question, that the response has kind of been like, yeah, so what? Because that's what it should be. And that's why I kind of, left it until we gave you a little run and let you introduce yourselves to folks before they pass any judgment if they were prone to. But it's awesome that you're getting this opportunity and that you're leaning into it. And I wondered if you were writing those recaps on the website. I saw that. I bet you was writing those himself. Red, you got any questions for?
Yeah, I got a big question for Matt. So I hear you talking about the international players, and I guess you know how social media is and everything. And I'm on Facebook, and I try to post a lot because I do a lot of different things with clothing, apparel, and stuff like that. But to get to the point is, I'm always getting these requests and people shooting film and stuff to me from like Africa and this place and that place. And I'm 14 years old. I'm 6'8". I'm 6'9". And is that how you recruit any of these big guys, that they just send you stuff and talk about themselves and tell you a little bit about their height, and then like you said, you do your homework and go from there? Or how did you go about that?
So it's funny because although I look like I'm about 12 years old, I've been doing it 14 years. And the whole business is about relationships. And so that's how I've gotten to this point. Yep. And so former players that are scattered across the world, professional guys, kind of connected me. And that's, one of the big guys for me, Leroy Ikajaku, who's from Germany, he walks into a gym one day. First time in his life ever being in the gym, and there's another big guy in there working out. Those two get together and they work out, and that big guy is Martin Linson, who played for me at UNCW for 2 years. And so he picks up the phone after the workout and said, "Hey, are you still looking for a big? Because I just worked out with one guy, and like he's got a chance to be something special." I said, "Put him on the phone," and like we take it from there. Another guy, Isaac Cubero from Costa Rica. Isaac is down in Costa Rica, and his parents help run the national team and the professional league down there. And one of my players, when Isaac went to 1 year of school in Utah at Layton Christian Academy, got signed a contract, went down there, and they in Costa Rica, they pay for your room and your board, and then you get a little salary on the side. And so instead of the team paying for this particular guy's room and board, they gave him Isaac's room. And so he was staying with Isaac's parents. And again, Isaac went home, worked out with him. He called me. He's like, "Hey, I got somebody for you." And that's kind of how it's gone. And so, and then to your point, there's another guy, Darcy Perez, where I was recruiting some guys from a different guy from Australia, but he was on the same team as Darcy. And the more film I watch, that's kind of my rule, is if I can't get hours upon hours upon hours of game film, then I won't take you. A highlight tape means nothing. You guys give me 15 minutes and I'll go take some shots, and all of a sudden you're going to think I'm a good player. And that's not the case. So as I'm watching that film, I start to notice this other, about 6'5" white guy make a play, and then he makes another play, and then he makes another play, and then he makes another play. And finally, I go and look him up on the roster. I add him on Instagram. I send him a direct message. He sends me one back. I ask if I can call him. And here we are a year later. He's a captain of my team right now.
Wow.
So, there's a lot of different ways to get there.
Somebody's always watching, man. Somebody's always watching.
What's the allure for these guys? Do you move them on to, like, if they have the talent and things work out for them and they do what they need to do in the classroom, to like a Division I program? Is that the allure, or do they come try to get the American way of playing basketball, then look to go back to their country to play pro ball? Or is it a mixture? Or what's the allure from the Waltersboro? I'm trying to say, I guess.
Yeah. So one thing I got to jump on there. You said, what do I move them on? No, I don't do anything. I provide opportunity and practice. What they do on the court, in the classroom, off the court, their day-to-day, their daily habits is what, gets them there. But, no, it's my selling point, my elevator pitch is opportunity. Is that, you've got an opportunity to come here to a program that has run the league for a long time. I mean, for a long time, the league has gone through Walterboro, gone through Salkehatchie. And so, we have an opportunity to rebuild this program. And I kind of use the pitch to some of them that you can buy a house, you can go to a program that's already been built, and, you can live in something that somebody else did, or you can come here and help me rebuild a house, build it from scratch and put your name all over it. And so I tried to find guys that were under recruited. I tried to find guys that had chips on their shoulder. I tried to find guys that needed a little bit of time and direction and love, but could really take us somewhere. We've had some good success so far. We're 3-2, probably should be 4-1, and that's listen to what I just said. I'm talking about a program that didn't play last year that has 14 freshmen going up against a team. We lost to a team that started 5 sophomores. And so we're going to get it figured out. But the biggest thing is my main pitch to these guys right now is do it together and swing first. Go hit somebody first. Show them that we're here. Show them that we're back.
Right.
That's right.
Good deal.
Amen.
Good deal.
Have you been able to connect with Coach Fudala at USCB yet? He's in a similar situation. I mean, not rebuilding a program, but starting it from scratch. And we've been getting to be good friends with him. Something special brewing there as well.
For sure. Yeah. We actually spent some time together, not only on the road recruiting. We would sit next to each other at games and stuff all of last year, but we spent time together down at the Final Four last season. And we have a unique connection in which he's obviously coming from IUP. And I graduated from Edinburgh University, two teams in the PSAC. And my dad is actually he's an alum of IUP, played basketball there. So I knew who he was before he got down here. I knew of the program he was coming from. And I mean, if he can bring 1% of what IUP was to the Lowcountry, you guys got a hell of a head coach on your hands and a great program for the future.
He's pretty dynamic, man. I think we got the right guy, and I think it's gonna really take off. They were way fun on Saturday. Way fun.
Yeah, I gotta come catch a game.
Yeah, no doubt. It was good times. But well, hey man, we appreciate you, and I know you got game day tomorrow, so go get rested up, finish watching your film, making your scouting report, all that stuff. But we appreciate the time and the effort that you're putting into rebuilding that Salkehatchie men's basketball program, and we're gonna definitely get up to Walterboro and catch a game soon.
Yeah, anytime. Love to have you.
It was good hearing about your program. Maybe me and Justin get up and see a game with you guys.
Really excited for what you're doing over there. Tremendous.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me on. Have a great night.
All right, good luck.
Thanks so much. Matt Lynch from USC Salkehatchie men's basketball. And that was awesome. We've been trying to connect for a while. We've been texting off and on, and glad we could make it happen tonight. That guy's definitely got it going in the right direction. Let's shout out some sponsors before we shift gears. We got friends in the green room. That's my favorite feeling. We got our MVP sponsors, starting with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports. She's sleeping in the next room because she's got the school drop-off tomorrow morning. But right after that, she'll be ready to get to work for you to help you find your place in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home or your forever home, maybe an investment property. She's going to get to work for you, get that search set up so that when the market is right, you can strike and find a place in the Lowco with the official realtor of Lowco Sports and the queen bee of the Lowco Hive, Megan Jarrett. And when we find it, we're going to call on our friends at Homegrown Home Inspections. Jan Lucas and his team will look it over from top to bottom with just an incredible level of expertise and customer service to make sure that you're getting the perfect home and making a good investment in this real estate market. Homegrown Home Inspections will be your eyes and ears until you're ready to move in. And when we sign the papers, we'll do it at Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports, our original sponsors, still with us 6 years later. Love Ryan and Tiffany and their team over at Mickelson Law Firm. They'll take care of all your legal needs and hospice care of the Lowcountry with the wonderful caring staff and the best CEO in the business, James Dismond, leading the way. They're doing great things over there, providing hospice care, palliative care, and free grief counseling, plus much more in our community, because at Hospice Care of the Lowcountry, it's not about dying, it's about living. And now we will shift gears, fellas, to high school hoops and bring in some more friends. You want to stick around, Bruin, or you need to get on and get to bed?
I'm going to let you guys go, and I just want to thank you again for bringing me in to talk about the USCB. Like, again, it's a great experience. I look forward to the next game I'm doing with you, and Wes, it was good seeing you again.
Yeah, it's great to talk to you, and I really like what you guys are doing. Of course, you guys are busy with calling USCB games, but you also are busy with Red's Barbershop as well.
We got a new season about to drop. I need to get it organized and figure out what we need to release, and we're going to drop season 2 real quick. So
definitely can't wait.
And forward to that.
Working with you makes it real easy to do what I did. You're a real professional and led me every sense of the way. So I just want to say thanks again, and you guys keep doing your thing, and I'll keep listening.
Much love, Red. Appreciate you both. Take care. Please. Go Mustangs.
Thanks.
Later, buddy. That was Red Bruin. And now we'll welcome in Coach Mike Colella and Coach Willie White. Willie White's got a new title now. You're muted, Willie. We got the HHCA crew in the house. Mike Colella, blast from the past. I made my triumphant comeback to the local sports, reporting scene a few years back. And now we're bringing back another ghost with where did Willie White go? With Colella. We did a turn a while back, and you had a really fun squad over at HHCA, and now you've inherited another one with some serious juice. So how excited are you to be back in the gym with these guys this fall?
Very excited and getting even more so the more I get to know these guys. I mean, it's just a great group of people. And I tell them every day that there's a ton of coaches that would take my spot and be happy about it. It's a good spot.
Yeah, there were a bunch that wanted it.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes,
there were a bunch hitting me up and texts and calls and saying, "Hey, what's going on?" And I said, "I don't know. I think they already got a plan." But let's see if we can get Will back in here now. There we go. He's back. What's going on, man? But yeah, you went and stole one of my great contributors and put him on your staff. So I'm glad we could get him back in the mix here. But yeah, you were talking about just the quality of kids you have on that roster, and Will's certainly familiar with it. They're all in and out of his house all the time. But talk about some of these guys, Caden Turner and Willie. I'm gonna actually throw you on mute because I got a lot of background noise for now. Yeah, Mike, talk a little about Caden and Isaiah and Eli and then your little point guard, Harry Skinner. You have to love him. Just tell me about this squad.
Oh, Harry's not that little anymore. Getting bigger.
He's not. He's growing up.
Yeah, bigger and stronger. And obviously, it's a pleasure to watch Harry play. And it's definitely a pleasure to see Harry play from sitting there in the coach's seat. Elijah White. I can't say enough about the guy. As a person, probably he's 10 times better as a person than he is a player, and he's a phenomenal player. So I loved my teams of the past. They were very coachable. Played as hard as you can play. This team adds that and a heck of a lot of talent.
Yeah, a lot of strong upperclassmen have been together a while. Like Isaiah Anderson will be there. You mentioned Elijah White, who has really been a key centerpiece of that team. And yeah, it's a talented group and an experienced group that I think is going to come up with even more firepower after just falling short last year. And so I'm really excited for you to take the reins on that. But Will, thanks for joining us. Tell me about what's been happened. It's been a while since we talked hoops, but just recap what's been going on this summer in terms of AAU and other things that have been happening with Elijah and some of his friends over playing summer ball.
Well, Elijah didn't have the best summer because he was hurt half the summer. He only played the beginning and towards the end. He was out for 3 months. He had a little injury to his hip, but he's all good now. Should be 100% ready to go. I think Coach Coelho would say he's probably 100% looking at him in practice. But all my other players, I coached some of the best players in the state this year. RJ Simmons, Caden Turner, Kai Murdoch. I coached a lot of guys, Montrell Jenkins, And so some of these guys you will actually be seeing, they play on other teams in the area. So Bluffton will play against, James Island, which has RJ. LaDante Felton, I coached him. He just came from he just signed with ECU. So I coached a lot of big names this summer, but I'm really looking forward to the team that Coach Coelho is putting together and gonna have rolling out on the floor this season.
Yeah, no doubt. And see, Coelho, that's why we need him in here, because he can tell us about other guys around the Lowco that we don't know about.
No doubt. I'm very lucky to have this man on the staff. There's no doubt about it. In a lot of ways.
Yeah, no question. He's been a great asset to the Lowco and love his kids for sure. But yeah, good to see you, Willie, getting your chance with Big Shots. That's who you were coaching with, right?
Yeah, Big Shots. Yep, Big Shots, South Carolina.
Shots. Yeah, you had a real squad. Did you have Goodman on that squad too?
Goodman was there. Yes, Goodman was on the squad for a little while, and then he went to to play with, I want to say Lowcountry Elite, but I'm not too sure. But he was with us at the beginning. But in travel ball, everybody's always it's moving parts, man.
Yeah, no question. The mercenaries, pickup players. That's what it is in baseball, is pickup players. Kalela, have you gotten the late? I mean, you've stayed involved. You've kept a foot in it. You're always in gyms watching games and stuff. But what's kind of the lay of the land as far as your competition going into the season? What are some early games that you kind of have, circled as good measuring sticks? And obviously Hilton Head Prep is the big one that you always got to be ready for.
Hey, back again. I thought I was done with that.
Every time I think I'm out, you keep pulling me back
in. I mean, it's a heck of a schedule. I inherited a lot of talent, no doubt about it, but we inherited a heck of a schedule as well with the, Woodville Tompkins and Calvary and Bradwell Institute and heading up to the Wilson Hall tournament. We'll be in Charleston. We've got Bethesda, Hammond. I mean, it goes on and on. Brunswick. We've got Hampton up at Martin Luther King.
You're getting the brunt of the girls having to schedule up. Is what you're getting.
Yeah, they dragged us actually with them. I think we had to go.
I think it's a good thing, though. I think it'll be a good thing in the long run. You'll really be battle tested and be able to, put yourself through some stress tests early and see where you need to get better.
I basically circled the entire schedule for looking for that game that I circled. Football is in the state championship Saturday.
Yeah.
We open up with our first game Friday. We have yet to have our entire team in the gym. So it's very.
It's the blessing and the curse. The blessing and the curse.
How do you tackle that as a coach? Because obviously they're still in their football legs. Now they get their basketball legs after Saturday. How do you face that challenge and get them into basketball shape in due time?
It's difficult, but we have had they have filtered in to practice here and there after football practice. So we have been able to walk through some things. They don't have any actual live experience, respecting Coach Peduzzi and those Eagles that are heading there, hopefully to win a big game Saturday. I know they've got a lot. They're at their final game. So we've been trying to steer clear of that, with still getting a little bit of work in. So we're not at zero, but we're not halfway there yet either. In the past, I'm very familiar with it, having coached at Christian Academy before. The football team
during the Tommy Lewis era, they were always playing into the state championship.
Yep. But the part there, I was involved in the team for years. So we had a program established and a system established, and the returning players knew the system, and it took a day or two really to be right back where we needed to be. This group, they were introduced to me unbeknownst to them the last minute. So they have, we have to get to know each other and learn a new system. I'd like to consider us to be somewhat structured. So it's the process of instilling structure, but not messing up their basketball game, getting them to play basketball too. So it's a lot. And, but I think we're going to be fine. I do football. We play Friday night, and then we should have 6 practices together to get ready for that storm that I just mentioned to you of a schedule. So we'll see.
I'm looking forward to that game with Hampton. That's going to be way fun. I know you are too, Will, because you loved going to watch Hampton last year. So I know you're excited to see your boys get to go head to head with them. You wanted that matchup last year.
I did. I wanted that matchup last year, and coach, he's not doing himself justice. He's a hard worker. He's made a lot of stuff happen. He's scheduled the opponents to get us ready for Skeezer States, because that's the goal. But Coach Coyle has done a fantastic job getting us prepared, putting teams on the schedule, going out and finding teams that we can play. And even though it's like a murderer's row, I mean, I think in the long run it's going to be good for us. So he's selling themselves short, he's getting these boys, prepared as much as possible. Like he says, we haven't had our whole team yet. So I'm excited. I'm really excited for a couple games on that calendar. But yeah, that's the main one, is that Wade Hampton. Well, they're not Hampton County.
Hampton County, yeah.
HACA.
I know it took me half a football season to get over it, but I'm finally over it now. Hampton County. I've said it enough
Hey,
times.
Justin.
It's like the Oakland
Justin,
Raiders.
we you all know Harry Skinner, and Isaiah and Caden and
love him.
All those guys.
I like Micaiah too. I love Micaiah.
Micaiah's over at he's over.
Oh, is he at Bluffton now? Oh, yeah. I like Micaiah.
Yeah.
I like.
But he's still a great player.
Yeah, I do too.
You can't sell him short. He's still a great player.
He's great. Yeah. No, that guy's got a motor that doesn't stop. He would have fit perfectly into our system. Yeah, me too. I love watching him play in the Hilton Head Christian Academy uniform. Let's put it that way. But we have, a couple of guys too. Ethan Foster is a freshman.
Yeah. I got his little brother on my baseball team.
Do you really?
Yeah, Braden's on the baseball team. Outstanding family. I mean, I have no question. He's gonna do everything you ask of him, run through a wall for you.
So hopefully Harry Skinner will lend Ethan he's a freshman chant this year, and he'll get to use that a lot. And we have a transfer back in, Dylan Sampson, who is just I don't even know how to talk about Dylan. He's amazing. He does a little bit of everything and so athletic and so smart and mature. So he's a phenomenal addition as well. And then I got Alex Epstein. Been playing baseball, hasn't played high school basketball, and he's a senior and walked into the gym literally answering a prayer of mine for just absolute prayer, looking for a player that nobody knows about. And he walks into the gym and the guy can play and is a great kid and super coachable, and they just have gelled right away with Eli and Isaiah and Harry and Q and all those. So Good stuff there. Good stuff there. Hoping to get.
It's a fun group. Coach, tell me more about how you approach the schedule, because the region play is interesting because you only have 2 other teams you play, and
they only have 4 games.
JP2
and Wild West.
So how do you kind of approach that in terms of scheduling and you're getting your team ready for those big region games?
Well, this entire schedule is geared up for the region and for the year-end run
postseason.
And the heart, the key to it, I think, is keeping the mental toughness there. We're going to be battling. I mean, we literally could be a phenomenal 500 team, or we could be better than that, hopefully. But I mean, we could be and still be a really solid team, really getting ready for the year-end run. So this whole schedule is put together for that exact scenario. And with 2 other teams, you don't want to lose one region game.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you just can't slip up. But yeah, flags fly forever. If you just get the banner at the end, nobody cares how many you lost on the way. They were all just learning experiences along the way. Any other teams that you guys are really teams or players you're really excited to see this season off of other teams, perhaps?
Well, I mean, I know, Bluffton, we played Bluffton this year, and they have a heck of a crop of players over there.
They do.
New coach
who I think
heard tremendous things about their coach. So
Brandon Bryant, I'm excited to see him back out there in the court.
Oh yeah, Brandon Bryant's fun to watch.
They're going to be playing with
Micaiah. That's going to be a fun little squad.
KJ. I've watched a lot of those guys play. My grandson is a freshman at May River, and I've watched all those guys. He's played with all of them in the rec ball, and so I know them all. That's for sure. Hilton Head High School, never going to let you down. Always
Shane
well
Brown,
coached. They're going to be
Brown's
as well.
They're going to play grade D. Hampton's is going to be really good this year. Whale Branch.
They're going to be
number 3.
Loaded. Yeah,
we got Faber coming on Thursday night with us, so looking forward to hearing about that. And I think there's a chance for a Whale Branch Hampton final in that Earl Campbell tournament, which would be worth the price of admission. That would be really, really good. But we're trying to get a full schedule for that. I just know that both those teams are in it. So, and then there's also potential for Bluffton to play somebody decent in a final too in the girls. So that could be good. Yeah, Bluffton ranked 8th in the girls, and then Hampton 5th in 2A, and Whale Branch 3rd in 1A. I wish we had Skeezer rankings.
So, and we have Savannah Day coming to us this year.
Yep.
So Kenny Conroy will be back in the gym.
Kenny Conroy.
And Mac
Kenny
Tanner.
Conroy. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it'll be a homecoming.
Yeah, we know. I mean, we're all very close, and I'm told the guys tonight that we want to come up with something for their locker room. You know, maybe a bucket of confetti when they walk in, tips on their head, something. I'll have something planned for them when they show up.
Tarred and feathered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot oil above the door. Yeah, Kenny Conroy, man, what a character. Speaking of characters, that's what we do here is introduce people to the characters that make this whole thing so much fun. And Kenny Conroy is definitely, he's one of the lead characters over the years. But, well, hey, fellas, we appreciate you. And thanks for coming on and talking HHCA basketball. Definitely looking forward to seeing, round 2. What'd you call it last time around? NASCAR on hardwood?
Yes, sir. Good memory.
Yeah, NASCAR on hardwood. Ronnie Fudala over at USCB is doing some of your stuff. He's running line changes and getting out and going. Did you get to check out any of the highlights from the Sand Sharks?
Well, no, they came over and used our gym for practice one day, and we sat through it. And I was surprised at the numbers that he had, and the size and the talent. I mean, that's a heck of a group. That's
a well-coached team. Yeah. I like Ron Fudala a lot. Energetic guy. Every time I've talked to him, he's got a burst of energy, and he loves hyping his guys up.
Oh, he's intense. Yeah, I got the highlights.
Nice.
You guys want to watch them?
Yeah.
Here we go.
With a familiar voice on the call.
You can see Willie White. He's right under the home of the Sand Sharks sign. If you look up close, right up there.
They put some numbers up.
I was on the call. Yeah, they did. They
130.
They might get in a fight tomorrow night.
Man, y'all have
to go back up there.
Y'all have to see if that's the most points scored for a first game ever, man.
Ooh, we have to get this.
Yeah, I tried to kind of look, but I couldn't really figure it out. It was hype in there though, man. It only holds like 700 or something, but
it was rocking.
Nice.
Oh, those fans with the
Josh Patterson.
That's awesome. That's fantastic.
Oh, it really was. Look at that.
Some local guys on that roster.
They got that guy who just threw that one down and that one too is from Savannah, Windsor.
Yeah,
Forest.
He's played at some open gyms with Elijah over the summer, so we're familiar with him.
Here comes the best one, the Pittsburgh connection right here.
Oh my goodness.
That one was clutch. And then the 6'11" freshman from Chicago, Marcus Overstreet, going Moses Malone was pretty legit.
He had a fantastic game.
Building
25 and 17 in his debut.
Building the offensive rebound stats.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he gets another one right here in a minute where he gets a rebound and just slams it. He's doing his best Nick Pringle impersonation. That's Pringle's move.
Man.
But that price gig,
Kevin, what he does this year.
Yeah, he's playing tonight. Look at that one. That was a nice flush.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, they can ball, bro. And then Dylan Lewis got in it too.
But I love the fact that they play defense. Like it's not just
they do
a barrage of offense.
Well, that's what when Kevon got the tech they thought that he was taunting the guy when he turned around and holding up the three. Ron was like, no, he was just turning around to find his guy on defense because that's what he's supposed to do. He just still had the three up. He wasn't taunting. He's looking for a guy to defend. But yeah, they banged threes. They threw it down. They scored in transition. They got after it on D. Like it was just way fun.
Yeah.
And then Finnegan waving the victory flag is that was a clutch move. But no, it was hype. Willie was there. It was good to see you. But, hey guys, we appreciate you. Yep.
Just real quick too, Dorian John VA DJ. Playing. He's football. He's impact on the football team. He's living in the gym as much as he can, and he looks very good as well, considering he's coming in after football. So I didn't want to fail to mention him as well.
No, that's a good call because that would have been an oversight because he was electric at times last year and when he gets going good it gets really good for a spurt. So Hopefully he can, elevate that this year and be a little more consistent and really bring you guys some energy. So, all right, man. Well, we appreciate you guys, and we'll definitely be talking HHCA hoops real soon. When you guys open?
Well, Friday night.
Friday night. Who you got?
Yes, sir. We're down at Coastal Homeschool Academy.
Oh, Homeschool Academy. Gotcha. Yep. All right. Well, best of luck, fellas. We'll look forward to hearing from you.
Later, Jay.
Man. Thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Take care, fellas. Mike Colella and Will White, HHCA boys basketball, going to try to finish the job this year after a runner-up finish last season to Hilton Head Prep, and what was a great rivalry and should be again. But I think HHCA should have a little leg up this year without Cusano over there and Eanes, but Prep they'll be pesky. It'll be a problem, right, no question. Yeah, it'll be fun.
We still got some guys returning who were role players from that team last year. Although, it's definitely going to have to take more of the load because Cusano was really the guy that led them and sparked them. He was making all the shots and needed to, both from distance and just controlling the glass. He took over that state championship game. There really wasn't any stopping him.
Yeah, and I mean, there were times last year where we probably thought that Hilton Head Christian had the leg up on Hilton Head Prep then too, and they ended up beating them in the championship game. So what do we know? But it'll be fun. Who else you want to talk about in this inaugural? Maiden voyage.
Yeah, well, let's just do a little round table about some of their high school teams or players that we may have missed, and just kind of tell what we're most excited about getting into. We talked a lot about USCB. We talked a lot college. Let's get into some more of this high school stuff.
Absolutely.
That's our calling card. I mean, I think when you look at the guys' squads, I think with this Whale Branch team, I'm really excited to see what Jeremiah Faber has to say. Coming back from a tremendous, coming from retirement after a tremendous career over at Ridge and Hardyville, where I wasn't able to see him much because I had my window when I was here. But man, every time I've had an interaction with him or just heard from him, that dude's legendary. He knows how to coach, and it just brings a sense of excitement to me in a program which is really always over-delivered. Starting from that McPringle year, they've always had some guys who have given the extra effort. So I expect Whale Branch to be a pretty solid team in that region. And then
about Whale Branch, they start the season ranked 3rd in the state. Obviously, new coach, but like Antoine Wade had a great thing going there. But then you bring in a guy like Faber, where it's like, oh yeah, well he's the same. He's just like a older version of Antoine Wade. He's a little more. He's on in years a little bit and a little more chill at this point than he used to be. But he used to be that crazy hype guy too. And then you look at what they got, and David Evans is really good point guard who can shoot the lights out. KJ Chisholm is whatever you need him to be. Greg Gilbert's a nice big kind of a stretch 4 type guy that they like. LaRon Wright, we know what he can do. He can shoot the lights out. He can get to the rack. Dorian Alston is a physical guy who can give you some minutes inside. Bradford Thompson is a beast, just like a complete freak. And then Isaiah Evans, Tots, 6'8", 310 center is out too. So, and I'm talking about football center and also basketball center. So he's got really nice feet, and he's huge, and he can move some people off the block and attract some attention down there. So I'm super excited about what Faber can do with that crew. That's going to be really fun.
A bunch of athletes.
And you were shifting to Hampton County, who I'm also.
They got all the intangibles. Hampton County, of course, Kayvon Chisholm and Goodman. Those guys. It's gonna be fun. I think, especially building off what we've seen from football season and the success that they had there, that normally always just tightens things even more when you get to that time of year. So I'm really excited to see what they do over there. Hampton County, Beaufort lost a lot with of course Dennison and then
fresh out of. No more Dennis.
Yeah.
So that's a bummer. But I mean,
Sully as well, right?
what's that?
Sully as well, right?
Yeah, Sully's going too. Yeah, he's at Catawba Ridge. So
Yep.
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a rebuilding year over there.
But Bridges is going to be
Hampton,
fun.
I haven't.
mentioned him.
Bridges will be fun, and Hampton losing Isaac Gray obviously is but they got the guys, and
Yep.
got in Xavier Garvin and Gibson and Darius Brooks, who was electric as a freshman of the year last year for Estill. And there's a bunch on that team that can contribute. In addition to Devon Allen is the one that
get a little bit of noise
both.
feedback or something. I'm not sure if it's on.
Feedback off me.
Yeah,
Not sure.
I think it's on your side. Yeah, a little static.
I don't.
Yeah.
You're getting some static off.
On your side, yeah.
I'll fix it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so obviously Buford had a great run last year. They lose.
Now I can't hear you at all. What happened? What happened?
I'm just hearing some.
I switched
static.
when I switched I couldn't. So I've got a problem here. But anyway. You there?
I can't hear you. I can barely hear you.
Oh boy, we're having shenanigans. You talk.
Yeah. Yeah, we mentioned Buford, but Bridges Prep, Marion Wilson, that's going to be a great story over there. Obviously, had that tremendous girls volleyball season, and a lot of that carries over that momentum, that excitement. So I'm looking to see what that Bridges Prep team can do. They've got a lot of fun pieces over there on the boys' side. I think the girls will be better as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do over there. Hampton County is going to be fun. Hilton Head, as we mentioned earlier, is always, that team's always going to play you tough when it comes to region play. Shane Brown he always seems to get the best out of his team in the last few weeks of the season when you get into region play. So you ever count that Hilton Head team a few years removed from that state championship run, and they're always a tough team to deal with. I really enjoyed watching and seeing how that group evolves, and they got a couple of key guys from that team last year. Is Reese was still there? That nice shoot.
Yeah, Reese Stewart. Reese
Yep.
Stewart and Kyrese Bowman were both on the preseason all-region team. I know that much. Who else you got? Oh, there's a bunch of guys that are on the roster on Max Preps that are long graduated. We got Alex Smith, Jalen Sneed, Will McCracken, Gaston Moore, a bunch of guys that haven't been. Sam Suma.
Let's see how fast we're there.
There's about 60 guys on the roster right now, so I don't think that's
a nice alumni team building over there.
Yeah, he's bringing everybody back. But looking at last year's roster, Luke Denzel would be back, Javarian Hamilton, John O'Gorman, Kyrese Bowman, who's nice, Brad Larson, Anthony Bynum is a nice big. Reese Stewart is, nice outside shooter, as you mentioned. So they've got some talent there, and then they've always got some guys coming up off JV and just some other guys who are athletic who contribute in ways other than scoring. I think they'll be solid. I mean, and then I think Colleton is kind of sneaky too, especially the guys. I think the girls are a little down this year. Although Shandy is fun if she's playing basketball.
I know she wants to for Colleton.
Yeah, Hamilton and Davion Varner and Javarius Doctor and Mikeem Gantz and Nick Williams, and then they got some other guys coming up too. So I think they could be dangerous at Colleton this year. I feel
like that's the team that we've been talking up. We've been having up for a long time, and they've been just been knocking on the door. And I think seeing those seniors who we've mentioned for a while. I mean, this is that opportunity to step up. So, yeah, I think Colleton's right there. I mean, it's not much of a difference between Hilton Head, Bluffton. I expect a lot of competitive games with those two teams. And then May River, obviously you lose Gavin Blocker.
Yeah, but they'll have really good guard play with Macy and Duncan. And then, I don't know what else they'll have around them, but they'll be solid with Macy and Gage Duncan. And they'll play good defense. They always do. But Carnell going to Bluffton hurts.
Yeah.
Because Bluffton should be pretty solid.
I really like the way Bluffton's looking right now. Obviously, there's a difference between seeing a team on paper versus seeing a team in action, but the talent's definitely going to be there for the Bobcats. I think James Allen and Lucy Beckham have had a history of contending and being solid squads.
James Allen's going to be good.
Yeah.
Real good. Because they got RJ Simmons, who's the preseason player of the year, Montreal Jenkins, Axton Scott. They're pretty sick.
I
think they're pretty sick.
I expect James Allen and Lucy Beckham to be right up there in this region. But I think Bluffton, I think they're looking like the best shot in terms of a finish, and then probably I'll go Hilton Head next. Carleton.
You know who else we threw out or we left out on Bluffton is Jamari Stewart Manning. I like that kid. He can go. And then Bays will give him some minutes inside. Khalil Chaplin can score. Devin Grant's a grown man. KJ Ford's a freshman who can go a little bit. They've got an interesting roster. That with the new coach, I think that could be really fun to see what he does with those guys. And Richie Moore too was the guy who, when he played for Jalen Linder, he wasn't explosive, but he kind of looked like him, he looked the part. And so I think he could be
it'll be more of I guess more of a team effort, more of a combined.
Yeah, I think they're going to be really deep and have a lot of interchangeable parts and stuff.
Because Linder really was the guy last year. Now you're going to have a couple. It's hard to replace a prominent big time scorer.
Yeah.
You get a couple guys, but it's gonna.
But Carnell is kind of Linder light, and he's going to evolve into Linder in due time. So I think it could work pretty well over there. I like that team, and I like Bluffton girls a lot. They're just it's time. It's time to get over the hump.
This is it for Takoya Hayward. I think she's been excellent, but I want to see more from some players around. And I know Jelena Mosley's been great. Losing Katie Rodney is tough because she's kind of been the partner in terms of on the perimeter with Hayward.
Yeah, but I think Amira is ready to to be the wingman. Robin to Takoya's Batman, or vice versa, and then Maddie Washington being full strength. And Jelena at the same time on the block is going to be a problem for some people. They need to make outside shots. That's always kind of been the thing for them, is when they got into the playoffs and played teams with legit bigs who could deny the post, and they had a hard time scoring.
They're an excellent defensive team, especially with Hayward's at the top of her game. But I think with the consistency on offense, they do a good job of getting to the free throw line. If they can make their shots, they're always dangerous. But you need that added dimension of some guys can knock in from the outside, and it's a matter of those open threes are nice, but it's a matter of getting easy looks close to the basket. And they've got some players who can rebound well and get to the hoop, and that's you want to be able to take as many quality shots as you can. And I think these girls know what it takes to consistently produce, but they're going to have to show it, and they're going to need more of a complete effort from everybody. Even as good as Takoya is, you got to have some good supporting pieces around you. And I think they do, and I think
for sure.
It's not obviously that AC Flora game that last year when they had to play that playoff game. They didn't even play at home. They had the playoff game at home, but they played in May River.
They had to play at May River. Yeah, that was a bummer.
Yeah, so hopefully if they earn some home games, hopefully they'll be able to play at home, because that makes a big difference.
Yeah, and I mean that was, that's one of those things where you love that you're supporting your wrestling team and hosting in lower state, but yeah, it just I don't know if those dates were not announced until it was too late or what, but that's a bummer. Like you just hate to see it happen, that they didn't get to play at home. But really, it's weird because the girls have been kind of carrying us for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I feel like as far as we had a lot more high caliber girls teams than guys, but I feel like that's flipping this year. I feel like the girls are going to be a little bit down. Hilton and Christian will be good, of course. Yeah, and they're down
out there.
North of the Broad across the board is kind of down.
He had a good run for Buford boys the other year. Of course,
yeah,
he had that state title run before that. So we've had a couple of good boys teams, but I think Hampton County's legit. I think Whale Branch is legit in 1A. I think Bluffton, although Buford's going to be down this year in 3A. Although I never counted a Buford team at this point with the athletes. Maury Bonds is still there, and they get a couple of the guys. Those football players, they know how to build strong athletes over there. So and Jeremy Huff.
I'll tell you who else not to sleep on in the guys is Ridgeland Hardyville.
Yeah.
Do not sleep on them. I don't know anything about their new coach that came in late, and that's that makes things tough. They'll probably struggle a little bit early, but I do know that they got some kids who can ball. Malik Aquamina can go, Javian Harris can go, Cameron Rice can go, Ponce Capers can absolutely go. They got some guys who can play, so they'll be fun to watch. But that Bridges Whale Branch is probably probably my most hyped boys region game.
Will, while you want to get in here I gotta grab my charger. You want to step in here, Will?
All right, Willie, what's up, dude? Welcome back. Wes had to dip. You're muted. There we go. Wes just had to dip, so you just got called in from the bullpen.
I was just watching.
I know. Who else do you want to talk about? Who else you want to talk about?
I think Hilton Head is going to be pretty good this year. Actually, I know you guys.
Hilton Head girls are going to be fun.
We're good, yeah. The girls are going to be good. The boys are going to surprise people. I think they're going to give you a better run than last year. That Hilton Head Bluffton game is going to have a little more weight to it now with those players going at it against each other, especially with that new Bluffton coach. I really heard Whale Branch was really good. Like they were scrimmaging Bluffton tonight, and I heard like everybody's 6'3" and can run up and down the floor, just like last year, like when we went to the game. So
yeah. Everybody except for David Evans. David Evans is 5'7" and just Mighty Mouse.
But he's like the engine of the team,
He sure is. He sure is. Yeah, we're gonna drag you to some Whale Branch games again this year. That was fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love ball, so I'll go. I'll be down. Hilton Head Prep, they should be pretty good this year. They've got 2 new players. I haven't seen them, but I've heard some talk around town that they can go. And then of course they got Ben Fry who's really good, and so and then Jason Britsky, I actually coached him as well. I forgot to shout out him. I coached him on big shots as well. I mean, he's a grown man, so big, strong.
That's a
but
good
now
call.
He can score at all 3 levels. Like I was watching him this summer, and he was like, so I think he's going to be a big key piece for their team.
They also have about 30 guys listed on their roster, dating all the way back to Stone McDonald and.
I hope Casano's still not there, right?
Harrison Green. He's on the roster along with a lot of blasts from the past. JJ Hayes too. They got the all-time roster up there going for it.
JP2 should be pretty. They're going to be young.
I'm hearing
young,
that.
But they're going to. I think by the end of the year, they're going to be a team that, if they figure it out, they're going to be a team you don't want to see. They've got some new talent that came in. I know they got 2 freshmen that are pretty good that I saw over the summer, and then they've got a shooter. So got a good coaching staff as well. So I look for them to make some noise like later on in the year.
Yeah,
is Banner playing basketball this year?
You're just sitting up there listening to Godson tell you about how good they were the other day.
Man, I was in the gym. I went to the gym. They had open gyms too.
Oh, of course, O'Banner's going to play. Yeah, he'll be the whole team. That'll be the whole reason to go. Just like football, it'll be just go watch Tony play.
He's must-see TV though. He's must-see TV.
No, I'm messing. They got some guys around him, but he's the straw that stirs the drink. In everything he does, he's special.
And then the kid from Battery Creek, I can't think of his name. Elijah Mathis.
So that's another team that Creek is it's you don't want to get burned by it because like we say maybe this is a year every year, but maybe this is the year. Like Donye is a good player. Elijah Mathis, we're hearing great things about him. Where'd he come from?
He actually came from Atlanta.
Okay, there you go.
So I'm sure he's got some dog.
And then Juju and Derek Smalls and Damian Freeman and they got some guys. They got a big guy named Kelvin Willis. That sounds like a tough name. Reminds me of Kevin Willis. Reminds me of Kevin Willis back in our day. He was a bomb.
From Atlanta,
he was tough. Yeah, tough guy. Didn't want to fool with him. Javori Cole's also a big guy too. So yeah, they'll have some juice and they'll play with a lot of energy because CJ sets the tone up top. You know, he's going to be hyped up. So I'll miss him and Antoine Wade going head to head. That was like the most hyped coaching matchup ever. Like, holy cow! Antoine Wade's gonna have a squad at Midland Valley too. Look out for them. But it's outside our area.
What game are you guys looking forward to real quick? I know you're about to get off. I'm sorry.
Geez, what do we got? What's coming up? I mean,
I know it's a lot of like local games this year as opposed to last year. So I think I want to give props to
a lot more
than that. Yeah.
I'm into that. I like the local teams staying at the local tournaments. You know, like people come to play at Bluffton, like Hampton. That's going to be fun. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm just looking forward to getting in the gym and seeing people and seeing new stars break out and emerge. And, you know, just like we didn't know hardly anything about Dirty Harry going into the season last year. And then like we'd heard of him, we'd heard Tale, but we'd never seen him play. And then like we had a main character by like before Christmas, we had a legend on our hands, a goat.
Right. And then he was balling.
Who will be this year?
He's been in the gym all the time, so he's better than last.
Remember that crazy shot he hit the buzzer against Prep.
And he played with us on big shots. So.
He had like 2 buzzer beaters last year against Prep. I mean, just insane the way he's
so I mean, you got Harry who's in the gym all the time. He actually played with us and he played up. So he played in the 17U this summer against like top level competition. So he's gonna be ready. So
he's a dog.
I'm not worried about Skinner, man.
Nah, I can't wait to watch him. Oh man, it's gonna be fun. All right, guys. So let's wrap it up because we're gonna do it every Tuesday and Friday and tell you what happened out there, break it all down, bring it all into context, and keep rolling on through the hoop season. So got to shout out some more sponsors right quick. I forgot about them. Getting in the flow of this show. Varsity sponsors, DDS Web Design. Go see them for your website. Get the search engine optimization going. DDSHHI.com. And Parker Law Group, serving folks with their legal needs across Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper counties and helping us continue to expand our coverage in those counties and shine a light on more deserving teams and student athletes around the Lowco. And then the Lowco Booster Club, Prime IV Hydration and Wellness, now open in Belfair Town Village. Rooted Living Wellness, where you can go see my friend Dr. Ambrose Cole. Barefoot Floor Care, the Lowcountry. Chris Odom will get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Eagle Creations over on Argent Boulevard for all your organizational needs, including your promotional items and custom gift baskets. And Court Lifestyle Pros, Lowcountry natives Daniel and Debbie Court, selling the Lowco Lifestyle on HHI. Those are our sponsors. Thanks so much. Willie White, Mike Colella, Matt Lynch, Tony Bruin. We had a great show tonight, great lineup, and talked a lot of hoops. So hopefully you got something out of it, and we'll definitely dive in more next week as soon as we put a couple more football teams to get to bed on Friday or on Saturday, and hopefully Hampton County keeps going. But if not, we'll shift gears and go all in on hoops. We'll be out in the gyms real soon, y'all. You'll be there. For sure, Will, but we'll be there soon. We gotta finish our job first.
I got you.
All right.
Go Eagles. Go Hampton.
Eagles, go
There you
Patrick Henry
go.
Patriots.
Yeah. Patrick Henry Patriots. Woohoo. We still got to figure out we should do some kind of pregame event in Hampton on Friday for sure. So, all right. Well, that does it for this episode of the Lowco Hoops Report. Another season is off and running. Thanks again to our guests, to our sponsors, and most of all to those of you who listen and watch. Until next time, go Lowco.